Hey guys, Aaron here. I just wanted to give you all a little bit of a disclaimer before we get into the next episode. You see, when I recorded it, I accidentally had my air conditioner and a fan running in the background, which introduced a lot of background noise and made the editing process really challenging. So, the quality of this episode might not be quite as good as the previous ones. There might be some glitchy audio, people's voices might not be leveled as well as in the past, but anyway, that's the disclaimer. Let's just get right into it. Hello, and welcome to the second episode of Dungeons&Dumber, an actual play Pathfinder podcast. I'm Aaron, your DM, and we have Darius, played by Bob.
Hello.
We have Tim Tall, played by Katie.
Hello.
We got Woodward, played by Tim.
Hello.
And we got Bartholomew, played by Vic.
Hey.
Alright, so where we last left off, you guys helped this old guy named Isaac deliver some stuff to a church in Thornhold. That's where you are now. And Darius went to a summer home that his family owns, doesn't really reside in, uses as like vacation home, and plundered all the booze he could carry from it because you guys had seen a gnome, which is a very rare occurrence, and the idea of a gnome party came up.
I want to challenge a gnome to a drinking game. They're so small, it would be such an easy competition.
Okay, good.
It's not even fair. So I'm wondering if there's any gnomes that could beat me in an arm wrestling contest. Definitely not any dwarves that can.
Okay, we're going to go into that village and just bully them.
Could you beat like three gnomes put together, like as one giant gnome arm? There's only one way to find out.
It would be extremely frightening.
Okay,
So
so
I guess we got to go there and find out.
where we begin playing, you guys are in Thornhold, in the town proper, and Isaac is at the gate with the cart and mules, kind of just setting up the cart, ready to hit the road. You would imagine that the best way to find the gnome that you saw and retrace like the path is to find where you camped out and go from there. And so, if nobody has any more business to do in town, then you guys will just set out.
How are our supplies looking right now? Do you think we're good for the trip?
Oh yeah, it's a 1-day trip, and I'm gonna be honest, there are rules in Pathfinder for like trail rations and how much food you have, how much water you have and shit, firewood, but you know, I'm not gonna count that unless like it's a situation where that makes sense to. Like if you guys were lost in a desert or so, then it would come into play. But you know, you're very close to towns and stuff, so.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I think we can set out then.
All right. As you guys approach Isaac, he says, "Are we going to the gnome party?"
Oh, of course we are.
You know it.
Only if you can keep up, old man.
Ooh.
I'll have you know I was quite the spry fellow when I was a whippersnapper. I think I've changed Isaac's voice every time, and his personality.
Sounds a lot older.
Yeah.
Sounds close enough to
Yeah,
the
you got
original.
way.
Yeah, I think he's gained like 10 years.
It's because of the stress of dealing with our party.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Okay. So you guys take off, and you imagine that it's only about a few hours until your camp site comes up. And during that time, Isaac asks, he says, "So, Woodward, you're a traveler, just like me.
Yes.
What brought you to this island? You don't seem to have interest in the festival."
Yeah, I'm not here for any festival. I'm here for treasure.
You remind me of myself.
Really?
What kind of treasure are we talking about here?
Just something from rumors. A fellow sailor that I met once told me about it. But apparently it's quite large, and it's hidden deep within the island.
Are you sure it's real?
You can't be sure of anything. But what could I really call myself a sailor if I didn't go after these kinds of things.
I've gone on plenty of adventures, with just a vague rumor. And even if you don't find what you're looking for, you always seem to find something.
You might
I
be
know
better
what
than I
you're
thought.
after the gnome.
What do you know about gnomes? I've never seen one.
Well, we only saw one briefly in the woods when we were at camp. I don't really know much about them either.
There's definitely no gnomes of the ocean.
Maybe there's mer-gnomes. I mean, you seem to... Maybe you would know something about that.
And, after a couple hours, you get to where you camped out. And you can actually, with a little bit of investigation, find... Well, why don't you tell me what you want to do, actually?
Well,
Well, I want to go with Laszlo to figure out where exactly we saw that gnome and where he ran off to. Because we walked out into the woods. I don't know if we left like a little trail or something.
I was going to say I could see the gnome in the dark, so I have a pretty good idea of where it came from. So we moved back to
Also,
that area.
the gnome was doing all kinds of, magical tricks and displays. So I want to use prestidigitation to set off a bunch of fireworks, make it extra sparkly, extra shiny, and see if I can attract a gnome.
Are you sure that won't be overkill?
How, big would the fireworks kind of display be if you use prestidigitation?
Each explosion, I guess, like 5 foot cubed, and just kind of like shoot them one after each other.
Are you going to shoot them, like, high up into the air?
Yeah.
Alright, okay, yeah. So, you go ahead and do that. You see these little glimmers on the ground leading you into the woods, almost as if your magic energy reacted with this kind of, like, dust and caused it to glimmer.
Oh, the gnomes are... It's magical gnomish dandruff. We have to follow it. I'll just keep, like, making explosions and sparks and buzzing rockets out of my fingers as I follow this trail on the ground.
Alright.
He's getting excited over here.
Well, you would too if you had rocket fingers.
Isaac pulls back his hood to reveal a bald head and says,
I remember dandruff.
Oh,
Really?
good way.
Cover that up again. You're blinding me.
Oh, sorry, where are my manners? This is reminding me of my younger days. The excitement of adventure.
and you travel farther into the forest. I forgot to ask, what would you like to do with the mules in the cart? You could kind of park them off to the side, I guess.
Does Isaac come with us? Like, does he get off and follow us?
Isaac is interested, so he's definitely coming with you.
Make sure Isaac's carrying the alcohol.
Mule,
Make sure the old guy's carrying the alcohol.
Mule, gnome.
I'm carrying a bottle in my hand, and I'm taking sips as I'm playing with magic.
I have enough alcohol for myself on my person.
Alright. How many bottles would you say you got from your family's vacation home?
I mean, they had like a fully stocked bar. It was like an Airbnb.
Yeah,
fantasy
exactly.
style. So I'm guessing like 20 bottles of various stuff.
Oh, sweet, yeah.
It's a lot.
So, Isaac kind of parks the cart with the mules kind of off to the side, maybe in a little, like, divot so you wouldn't be able to see them from the road, and he's coming with you. And as you follow the, like, trail of this glimmering dust, you go further and further into the woods, and you're probably walking for about half an hour to 45 minutes, and you notice that where the forest before was a little sparse, a little open, the vegetation is growing much thicker. You're seeing lots of, like, colorful flowers. The trees have, like, lots of vines hanging down for them. You start to very clearly hear bird songs and butterflies. It's almost like you're in, like, a Keebler Elf commercial. And
Look for the cookies.
look for the cookies. Yeah. And the path ends right at this tree. Like, as if it ends right at the base of a very wide tree. It's not super tall, but it's wide.
Can Laszlo find a tiny door in the tree? Maybe that the elves live in the tree or something? I mean, not the elves, the gnomes.
I was gonna say, I'm like, we don't live in trees.
Okay, Laszlo can definitely look.
I'm gonna do a perception for him, I guess.
Now, describe me how he's looking.
I'm just gonna walk around the tree and look for some kind of opening in the bottom.
Okay.
Would the gnomes get mad if I picked the flowers and made them really tiny flower crowns?
You wouldn't be able to say if they would get mad or not.
Got a 16.
You don't notice a physical door.
Can I walk up to the tree, put my ear against it, and just start knocking on it like a door?
You walk up to the tree, try and knock on it, but you lose your balance as you fall directly through the tree into the tree.
Oh my god, where'd he go?
Guys, the tree ate me!
That's messed up. That's not right.
I knew those flowers didn't.
I think we should turn back, guys.
Let's just crawl out of this hole.
Isaac says,
Nonsense! Let's see what's inside this tree.
I bet it's gnomes.
It's probably gnomes.
Alright, I guess it's time to hop in.
is everyone going?
Yeah.
Yes.
So as you enter the tree, you notice that everything around you seems to be growing and growing as you gradually shrink down to a very small size. You look back as Isaac is the last person to go in, and he looks like a skyscraper. You guys have shrunk down, and you enter, and it seems like this little cozy room. There's a table setting already made with the exact number of chairs for you all. And make me a perception.
Everyone.
Everybody?
Yeah.
12.
I also got 12.
I got an 11.
I got a 4.
Oh, yay.
Too distracted by everything shrinking in my perspective, and, you know, with the pang of disappointment that my bottle of booze is now the size of, like, the bottle of liquor they give you on an airplane. That
Aw.
I'm just far too distracted to be able to find things that might be it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tintal is
don't worry,
just really
it'll grow
thinking
back.
about those flower crowns.
I was gonna say maybe Tintal with the 4. Yeah, you'd be distracted. I think that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, all of you are kind of taken aback by this whole thing, the shrinking. It kind of gave you the butterflies in your stomach of like a roller coaster when you go down, and you kind of look around to get a bearing of your surroundings. You see the table with chairs, and you see a small humanoid figure you would recognize as a gnome facing the wall to your left. And she says,
We have been expecting you. Please, take a seat.
Alright.
Alright.
Already ready
Well,
to
thank
party.
Would you like some candy?
I love
Yes.
candy.
all
I
right,
think I'll pass on the candy.
I want candy.
I'll have some candy.
So I'm the only one who's not taking the candy.
the elderly gnome turns to face you, and she holds out her hand, and there's a few what looks to be pebbles that she holds out to you.
It's rock candy.
Yes.
Is that candy?
Why don't you roll me a perception, Tim?
It's 16.
It looks like a piece of gravel.
Delicious.
She's holding out several pieces of gravel, and it doesn't really look like candy, but do you guys take it?
And just be like, oh, so gnomes eat rocks. I'm learning so much about you and your culture.
Hey,
And I'll just take one of the pieces of gravel and pop it in my mouth.
if an old lady offers you candy, no matter what she hands you, you take a piece.
I'm still passing on it, like I did with the first candy.
Tintal will probably put it in her pocket rather than eat it, but she'll definitely take it graciously.
As you pop it in your mouth, you feel this fantastic flavor. It's like watermelon. It has lots of complex flavors to it. It's very sweet, and it tastes really good. But
God, Woodward, you gotta try these.
I won't be jealous. I'm okay with my liquor.
Watching the figure, I guess.
The gnome speaks up again, and she says, "What brings you here?
We just wanted to have a party.
A party?
Yeah, that's accurate.
Well, Little Pig here." And the gnome you saw last night comes out, bashfully gives you like a wave, and then runs back behind another door. "Little Pig says he met an elf lady and a monkey last night. Come, what are your names?"
I'm Darius.
My name's Tintal.
My name is Woodward.
And I'm Bartholomew, and the monkey is Laszlo.
"My name is Rometta."
I'm gonna have Laszlo walk up and offer a handshake.
She doesn't even register it. She's not only facing the wall, but as Laszlo walks up, she doesn't even turn to accept the handshake.
Laszlo feels rejected and walks back to it.
Quick question, right? Like, we've shrunk down. Am I the size of a gnome right now? Like, am I standing eye to eye?
You're taller than she is. Like, the ratio of you to her is the same, but everything is smaller.
Alright.
Gotcha.
Starting to get a little worried about my drinking contest.
Yeah, not so easy a win now, is it?
So, you said you came to party?
Yep.
Well, I know I just met you, but could I ask you a favor?
Okay.
Well, speaking of parties, Little Hig, he told me he wants to go to the festival in town and see it with his own eyes. He's never traveled beyond the grove, and I wouldn't feel safe if he went alone, but I'm in no shape to take him. Would it be too much to ask for you to take him? I don't have the heart to tell him he can't go.
Yeah, the more the merrier. Let's do it.
Okay.
What does he have to offer to us?
He's a child.
He's just a child.
Ah, yes. I apologize.
But, well, I have something to offer you. I find myself in a small predicament. I don't have any food or drink currently available because my kitchen is angry and fighting me right now.
What the heck?
Your
Ah.
kitchen is fighting you?
Well, maybe not the kitchen itself, but there's an angry fairy that got inside, and I can't get my food.
Sounds like a job for Woodward's punching skills.
I could take care of that pretty quickly.
I don't know much about cooking. I've never cooked anything in my life, but, I do know how to talk to people.
Well, what's a party without some food and drink?
Yeah, let's take care of this right now, so we can start the festivity.
Okay.
I think it would be a good idea to get rid of the fairy as quickly as possible.
Do you have any experience dealing with fairies?
Never seen one.
I certainly don't.
Not really.
Well, they're very tiny, and they are very agile, but if you catch one in a bottle, they can't get out. So, I have 2 bottles I could give you, and she produces these 2 mason jars. But I don't want to undersell that everything in the kitchen is flying around, and she's angry and does not want to be caught. But the kitchen is right through that door, and she points to the door in the back of the room.
Alright, well, I'm ready if the rest of you are.
Alright, who's taking the 2 jars?
We'll take a jar.
I think we should definitely split up the jars. I'll take one.
Alright, so Darius and Woodward each have a jar.
Cool. Isaac says, "I think I'm going to sit this one out."
Probably smart of you, Isaac. We'll be back.
Can I chug my bottle of liquor and also try and catch the fairy in my empty bottle?
You're gonna chug an entire bottle of liquor?
Well,
Of hard liquor?
do we have a regular beer bottle?
Well, it's probably not. It's not probably totally full by now. We definitely have half-empty bottles.
Okay, yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I'm gonna finish one off and then attempt to use my empty bottle of liquor to help as well.
Good, because if you poured it on the ground, I'd never forgive you.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
So why don't you just roll me a fortitude save as you finish off an entire bottle of liquor, just to see
if it
If you die.
gets to you or not.
No.
If you die. You're really tiny, so that much liquor could kill a man.
Well, the bottle shrunk with us too. So.
Yeah. Nah,
Alright,
I'm just laughing.
I got a great fortitude save, so
Oh shit, you got a 3.
That is.
Oh, no.
I rolled that's a natural 1.
Oh god, it's a natural 1, yeah. Okay.
Wow.
So, yeah, you feel great. You
Let's
feel on
do
top
this,
of the
guys.
world. You
Let's go, guys.
may have a strange compulsion to want to dance.
I'm gonna weave my performance into my attempt to catch this fairy.
Just stay out of my way.
I can't guarantee anything right now.
So you guys you make your way into the kitchen, and Rometta the gnome was not kidding. As soon as you walk in, the chairs all turn to face you. A broom kind of gets up and starts twirling through the air, kind of in your direction. And
Is
some
this
of
Disney Fantasia?
this is Disney's Fantasia.
Oh my gosh.
And some like plates begin to like levitate and spin throughout the air, and it seems like this whole place is coming alive. And you see this little tiny thing the size of a fly zipping around the room, around the ceiling of it. As you enter, a broom flies at who entered first?
I did.
Yeah, make me a reflex save.
I rolled a 9.
Alright, so the broom, you kind of bat it out of the way a little bit so it doesn't hit you, like, in the face, but it kind of sweeps back around and trips you and knocks you on your ass. You don't take any damage, but it definitely catches you off guard, and everyone else behind sees this happen.
I'm gonna say, like, I'm knocked on the ground, and I'm not pissed off that I'm prone now. I'm more annoyed that it hit me in the face with, like, disgusting mop water.
Yeah.
And, like, in my, tailor-made clothing and fancy cologne, I now just smell like a dirty mop.
Gross.
I didn't want to say anything, but you already kind of smelled like a mop.
Alright.
Ooh.
Tim, you should be proud of yourself. Aaron will spit out his drink.
So how do you guys want to proceed? I'll leave this situation up to you.
I'm gonna attempt to do a flip over one of the floating chairs and try and capture the fairy, since you said she's flying around high.
Sure. Actually, why don't you all roll initiative just to see, like, just so we
Okay.
get an order going.
That would be a good idea.
God dang it, 7.
I got a 13.
I got a 2, but I'm prone anyway.
I got an 18.
Alright, so Tin Tall actually has kind of the fastest reaction.
Ha!
So you see a broom totally a mop sweep Darius off his feet. And there's a bunch of like plates and dishes flying through the room. And how do you react? What do you want to do?
I want to see if I can use Mage Hand to, like, catch the fairy. Because I think that would move faster than my physical body at catching such a small creature.
Alright, you can definitely try. What is your combat maneuver bonus? Yeah.
-1.
You have a -1. Okay.
I rolled a 2.
Oh man.
Well, that didn't work.
So you shoot out this spectral hand to try and catch the fairy, and you think maybe for a second that you got the fairy, but then you feel this force push your head back a little bit as the fairy just does a little bit of its own magic to give you a slight shove. You're not hurt or anything, but it messed up your hair, let's say.
Oh, she's dead now. Get her.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Woodward, you're up.
Alright, so I am going to... actually, I'm gonna hang back a little bit. And like, try to observe the way the fairy moves around. And I'm gonna give the other guys a chance to make their move before I do anything else. I'll see if it gets close to me, and I'll try to get it with the bottle, if it does.
Alright.
But besides that, I'm gonna let everybody else act.
Vic, you're up.
Alright, I'm gonna show everyone how a professional does this. I'm gonna do a sick front flip over the floating chair, and attempt to catch the fairy midair while it floats
You
around the ceiling.
you feel that this is an amazing idea. There's no way it could possibly go wrong.
I'd like to see it.
Why don't you roll me an acrobatics check? I'm gonna borrow a mechanic from D&D 5th edition. I'm gonna say roll it at disadvantage because that liquor got to you. So roll twice and take the lower result.
Okay. Whoa!
Oh.
Wow.
I got a 25 and a 22.
Oh my god.
So with your 22, you navigate this kind of web of flying chairs, and you jump over a chair onto the table. As you stand on the table, it causes it to tilt, so you can run up the table and get higher towards the ceiling, and
Parkour.
you get there. And why don't you roll me a straight up and down melee attack roll to get to the fairy?
18.
Holy shit, yeah.
God damn it, Vic. This isn't fair.
With the grace of, I don't even know what, you just close the lid with the bottle, you clap it together, and the fairy just starts darting and bouncing inside the bottle.
I can't believe this.
It's like trying to bounce back and forth. It rears back and tries to push against the lid, but you've closed the bottle completely shut, and you have the fairy.
I told you I was a professional.
Upset.
You should binge drink more often.
That's the
Why does that
power of
work?
the liquor. Power of the liquor.
God damn it.
And as the fairy is in the bottle, you realize that the floating chair that was supporting you is losing all its magic, and everything is falling to the ground.
Oh no.
So roll me one last acrobatics to land gracefully.
Perfect 20.
18, baby.
Oh my god.
Not bad.
Man, you're getting all your good rolls out of the way. Alright. Yeah, so...
He has a plus 10 bonus.
Yeah. So...
The plus 10 helps.
So yeah, you land on your feet. Lazlo holds up a sign that says 10 on it. You don't know where he got it. And,
Thanks, buddy.
and you have the fairy, and the kitchen is a mess. All the plates and bowls have fallen on the ground and just shattered entirely.
Can I
Was the
cast
cleanup
mending?
in the contract?
The cleanup was not in the contract, but you can absolutely cast
Can
mending.
I cast mending on those broken dishes?
Absolutely.
For that poor old lady?
hmm
Do I need to roll anything, or can I just open?
You just cast it. So Tintal goes around the room. It's actually a cantrip, so you can cast it repeatedly until you fix everything.
Awesome.
It takes you a few minutes, because it only works on one object at a time, but you kind of comb through the room, picking up broken stuff and putting it back together.
I'm also stacking plates and bowls as I go along, just to keep them neat, but I don't know where they go, so I leave them on the counter.
Alright, you do that, and I assume Darius gets up, or someone helps him up.
I'm too drunk.
Oh yeah, you're too drunk now?
Sure, I'll get to my feet and kind of dust myself off.
Alright. And as you do that, Remetta, she walks in, almost... she actually, while you're dusting yourself off, she walks, through your legs. and she starts clapping, and she's like, fine performance! Wow!
What am I supposed to do with this thing again?
I'll take that.
Whoa, I don't know. I don't know about that.
It is his bottle.
This is my liquor.
I propose we trade. I could give you, one of my bottles with fine gnomish honey mead. How does that sound?
I'm gonna whisper to my friends. You guys, how rare is this thing? Should I make the trade?
I don't know, but I'd keep my hands on the fairy, if I were you. We have plenty of liquor.
I don't know. It seems like it might be some pretty good stuff. I might do it personally.
I'm gonna try and ask the fairy. Hey, fairy, you wanna stay with the gnome?
She just, has her arms crossed and she's scowling at you.
I don't think.
She with closed fists, she bangs against the glass of the bottle, but clearly she has no way to get out.
Alright, Tinkerbell. Do you want
It's like
me to
making
go
shit
get
fly
the-
around the room, but you can't get out of a glass jar.
Oh.
This is how it works.
Alright, what are you gonna do? If I make this trade, what are you gonna do with the fairy?
Oh, I'm just going to release her outside.
I could just do that.
Okay. Fairies don't like being restricted or bottled up for, no pun intended. They're very free spirits. And while this one got inside, and Pig decided he would play with it, but he was too rough with his magic, and so he's a young child. He doesn't really know what subtlety is. So that's how that happened.
Alright, you know what? If you're gonna offer me the honey meat, and you're sure you're gonna release it and not like eat it or something, I'll make the trade.
Eat it.
Yeah, I don't know what you eat.
And she
Rocks, apparently.
yeah, she takes a rock and pops it in your mouth.
Yep.
And so, anyway, you've solved my fairy puzzle, so you can all get 200 EXP. That was
Oh yeah.
meant to be a lot harder, actually.
I did all the work.
I think
What the heck?
so, yeah.
Well,
But I mean, I can't deny a 22 and 2 18s in a row, though. So, bravo.
it was easy.
Looked easy. Probably would have been easy for the rest of us.
Power of the liquor.
I'm still upset. That was so unfair.
Yeah, nice mage hand. Nice
That was so
magic.
unfair.
I think I did a good job in that fight.
You did a
I
great
got
job.
200 experience by hanging back and waiting.
Well,
Truly
It
a
paid
master
off.
tactician.
Honestly, Darius helped me the most.
all moral support.
Anyway, so, Rametta goes into the kitchen and pulls out a bottle. It's not labeled, but she hands it over to you, and she begins, pulling some other stuff out of, her... I was gonna say fridge, but she wouldn't have a fridge.
It's an acorn.
It's a slightly large acorn.
A slightly large acorn.
It's, it's the shell with the meat is taken out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched Peter Pan. I don't know.
Let's say she's got, like, some potted plants that have, like, berries and stuff, and she begins, like, mixing a salad that has berries in it and leaves and some nuts and stuff, and she comes back and she offers you the salad, and then she says a little incantation, and another chair rises up in the tree house that you're in, and the gnome child comes up and takes a seat and sits with you. And so what are you doing now that you have the bottle of honey mead?
Well, we're gonna drink it.
Oh, yeah, open that.
Yeah, I'll pop that open and pour us all a glass of that.
Oh boy, it's time for the gnome party. You pour a glass for everyone.
Even the kid?
Yes.
You can take
They
it.
don't have legal drinking ages here.
Yeah, Pig drinks some too. Vermetta doesn't seem to be bothered by this.
Just a little bit.
She's not my parents then.
Anyway, so it just tastes fantastic.
That
Yeah,
was a good trade.
Yeah, I think this meat alone is worth bringing the kid to the city.
so everyone who takes a drink, make me a will save.
Uh-oh.
I got a 10.
I got a 7.
I also got a 7.
I got a 4.
Alright. Nothing bad's happening, but you kind of feel yourselves fade in and out of consciousness and go into this dreamlike state. And so we're gonna go down the line
It's
from...
not your daddy's mead.
So let's say Woodward.
Yes.
You see a figure that you recognize. Even though you may not know why you recognize this figure, it seems to be this woman. She's swimming next to a ship that you were on early in your sailing days. She's just swimming around in the ocean, far from any island.
What a peaceful moment.
And as you kind of come back, you feel this longing, as if she's familiar, but you've never met her. Bartholomew, you have not so pleasant a memory. You remember the orphanage growing up, you remember kids taunting you about your parents, saying they either died or they didn't care about you, so they abandoned you. And you have all, like, the bad feelings that come with that. But then you remember the moment you met Laszlo and found kind of a kinship with him. So why don't you tell me about how that happened?
Laszlo was just a monkey that wandered in from the nearby forest to the town, and I didn't really hang out with any of the other kids at the orphanage, so I would go around town doing my performances, and one day Laszlo just walked up and started performing with me.
He just walked up out of the forest?
No, he was just wandering around the town from the forest, because I'm assuming that's where the monkeys live in there, obviously. So he just walked up, and he started performing with me, and we formed kind of a bond over it, and kept doing it.
How did you come up with the name Laszlo?
Sounds like a good monkey name, to be honest.
Alright.
I agree with that.
So, Darius, it's a night that you've tried your best to forget about, and there's a big, heavy knock at the door, and then another, and your dad got up from the table and went to the door. At the door there was a man. He was wearing this dark robe, and he was speaking kind of in this low but intense voice. And your father, he seemed shocked. And they talked at the door for a minute or two. And roll me a perception.
I rolled a 20.
And with that, the guy says, "You know what you must do." And your father says, "I understand." And then you come to. And Tintal, you have a memory of your two friends. What were their names?
Well,
Opening fantasy name generator.
yeah, don't make me lose it.
It's okay.
Thane and Brill.
So you're on the boat here with Thane and Brill, and Thane says, "Oh boy, it's the first time I've been off the island. I wonder what's you've been hearing about this festival, huh?"
Yeah, Thane, it should be really exciting.
And Brill says, "You kids. I mean, it's alright, but..." Did you guys hear that car horn?
Yes.
Yeah. That,
Damn
that replaced your dialogue.
You hear a car horn, and suddenly your dream is surreal as Brill starts talking to you, and you just hear beep, beep, beep.
Get the fuck out of the way.
No.
Oh my god.
And Brill says, "It's alright to be excited, but we're here on business, don't forget. So, I mean, we'll see what the festival's all about. Remember, we're not just here to have fun, okay?"
Just stick in the mud, bro.
Hey guys, this is Aaron. I just wanted to take a quick break from the action to say thank you so much if you've been listening to the podcast. It's been months in the making. I'm speaking to you several months after the initial recording of this, and I hope you're all enjoying it. Anyway, without further ado, I just wanted to get that out there, and we'll get right back into it.
And then you come to, and you've all kind of just had these moments of reminiscence, and you realize that this isn't mundane alcohol. So whoever has Knowledge Arcana, if you want to roll that, you can get an idea of what just happened.
7.
No, this is just straight up alcohol. It was just really good stuff.
Yeah, this stuff was way too heavy for me. I don't think I'm gonna have any more.
You might want to keep it around though, just in case.
Yeah.
Why don't you roll me a perception check?
Everyone?
Yeah.
I rolled another
17.
I got a 15.
God damn it, Vic.
Alright, Bartholomew, as you come to with your kind of unpleasant dream, well, not kind of, it's pretty unpleasant, I would assume. You turn to Isaac and you notice him convulsing in his cold sweat, and he's muttering something in another language. His left hand is just, like, raised up and his fingers are, like, writhing.
I'm gonna run over there, grab him by the collar, and wake up, Isaac! You have to wake up! I'm gonna shake him awake as hard as I can.
And he's like,
Barry?
Barry?
Who's Barry?
You're not Barry.
No.
His hand stops convulsing, and he kind of like, let go of me. And he brushes your hands off and gets up, turns around, and starts to like wipe his brow with a handkerchief. Then he takes a seat back at the table, but his cheeriness seems to have all but left him, as he seems much more somber than you've ever seen him.
So who's Barry?
Nice question to ask right as he wakes up.
You don't have
Someone
to, you
from
don't
my
have to answer.
past. Let's just leave it at that.
Are the rest of us awake?
Oh, yeah, you are all awake.
Oh, okay.
Bartholomew was just the first person to notice that Isaac was doing that. You guys were all just kind of still coming to,
Gotcha.
This
But
really
you-
put a damper on the party.
but you're all very aware of what just happened.
Hey, lady, what'd you put in our drinks?
Why, this is just gnomish honey mead. It's, of fairy make, really.
It's very powerful.
So, Mr. Darius, was this gnome party to your pleasure?
Well, at most parties, I try to stay awake as long as possible.
Ah, then would you care for a round of some of your stuff?
Sure. My head is still swimming, and I'll pour out or grab a bottle of whiskey that I grabbed, and pour a round of booze for whoever wants a second glass.
And at this
I'll
point,
take a glass.
Renetta reaches into her cloak and pulls out this like little metal contraption. It looks like a flat coin, and then with a flick, it opens up like telescopically to form a little shot glass.
Oh, hell yeah.
And she says, "Hit me with your best shot."
Sure, and I'll pour it up to the brim of the glass that she pulled out.
Bottoms up. And she just knocks back that shot and then holds her hand out as if asking for another one.
Hell yeah, lady.
Sure, I'll top it up again.
And she says, before taking this next shot, "There really is no party like a gnome party.
Hey!
Is anyone else going to drink with me?"
I'll take another.
I just had a bad dream. I think I'm gonna sit this one out.
Alright, so I guess Darius, you pour Woodward a shot.
Right?
Alright, so the two of you take another shot.
Drinking competition.
And then she says, "So now that we've got that out of the way, is there anything you'd like to know? This is the first time I've seen humans since the Great Drowning all those years ago.
What the heck is the Great Drowning?
Surely you've heard legends of old."
No, we don't have a great education system.
I've heard of the Great Flood.
Yes, well, that's
Some
one of the
elders,
names for it.
Some of the elders in my tribe discussed it, but I never cared to listen.
Well, there was a great evil that walked the earth thousands of years ago. And the gods had a group of champions that they raised up to combat this evil, but they failed. And they all fell one by one. The kingdoms of man banded together, and there were great wars, and many lives lost, but no matter what happened, this great evil, well, suffice to say, just look at how the world is now. We gnomes have been in exile since the great rain drowned the world all those years ago.
That explains a lot.
And she seems kind of somber too at this point. And she says, "Well, do you have any other questions for me?" As she tries to kind of make herself seem more hospitable.
How many of there are you?
Here in this forest, it's just me and Hig. There is a network that we can access, but it's beyond our reach right now. As, well, I'm in no shape to go. But they say there's somewhere on this island that you'd be able to... I don't know. But I haven't seen any kin other than Hig here for as long as I can remember. And my body grows old and frail. The wind, we listen to it here and it tells us things, so we don't usually have to venture out. Have you ever seen a gnome before? Other than me and Hig, of course.
Nope, never.
I have never.
We were afraid to approach Hig at first. We weren't sure what was going on.
Yes. I mean, if I haven't, in all my years on this island, it would seem that we're the only ones here. Is there anything I can do for you? I haven't spoken to anyone in common in a long time. It's good to just speak to someone who can respond. And it's not a child. And kind of pats Hig's head, and Hig kind of pouts.
Is Hig mute, or is he just quiet?
He doesn't speak common.
Oh, I see.
If you were able to learn how to speak Gnomish, though, then you could talk to him, but I don't imagine you know that language.
No, unfortunately not.
There is actually something you can do for me.
Yeah?
Where is your shower?
Well, there is no indoor plumbing, not since the flood, but I'll tell you what, I am somewhat of a hand at magic. If you want to get, I don't know, do you have any other clothes? I could wash your clothes for you, or just hit you with a glass of water, but then you'd be soaked. That wouldn't sound very, hospitable of me.
Hit me with the water. I need to sober up.
Oh, okay. Why don't we go outside first?
Sure, I'll nod and step outside and stand with my arms, like a cross.
Alright, so she steps outside as well, and you both feel that similar kind of like stomach falling sensation as you rapidly expand up to your original heights. Then she says an incantation, then a little rain cloud appears and just starts downpouring on you.
Aw, that's so cute.
Sure. I'll start shivering once the water hits me, and then once the rain subsides, I'll just kind of wrap my arms close to my chest and shiver harder.
Yeah. The rain subsides after about a minute, and then she says another little thing under her breath, and a big gust of wind just hits you, almost knocking you off your feet. And at the end of it, you notice your clothes are all dried. Your hair is completely messed up. It's like standing up as if you went through a wind tunnel.
Oh.
But yeah, you're dried up, and you don't smell like mop anymore.
Sweet. For now.
And then Remetta says, "Is there anything else I can do for you while you are here? If you'd like, we can make lodgings for you. The festival, I hear, is in 2 days, so you have a little bit of time if you'd like to stay."
Yeah, that would be great.
That'd be fun.
It'd be a lot safer than staying outside.
Yeah, I agree.
Isaac, do you agree? Or are you gonna head back?
I could lay down for a little bit. My head is swimming right now. Forgive me for not being so talkative.
Yeah, you look like you need a rest right now.
You notice that the color has almost drained from his face. He seems like he's visibly ill. And with one hand, he's like clutching his leg very tightly. His other leg is like bouncing up and down really fast. Remetta says, "Let me show you what our lodgings are like." And so she leads you into the house, through the kitchen, and up the stairs that go in a spiral, like around the interior of the tree. As she's walking, you notice that this is assembling in front of her. She reaches the floor, and it kind of partitions itself off into 5 rooms, and in each room is a hammock. And there's not much else, but it seems, fairly inviting. And she says, "Pardon me for not having anything prepared. We haven't had guests ever. So here's where you could stay."
Thank you very much.
This'll do.
Hig has something to ask of you, but I'll be his proxy. He wants to know if there will be fun games at the festival.
Oh, I hope so.
Definitely.
What would a festival be without games?
Yeah, I know. They even have Dunk the Gnome. Oh, sorry.
Ooh,
Oh.
bedtime.
Oh, that
Dunk
is...
the Gnome, huh?
It's not what you think.
It's not very realistic. They've never seen a gnome.
Well,
It's pretty offensive, though.
I guess I wouldn't know really what to make of it, but I'll leave it at that. just take good care of my boy. He's all I have. And
Don't worry, we will.
Don't worry, you won't get dunked.
don't dunk him yourself, please. And well, my old bones are feeling a little tired from all the exertion, so I'll leave you to it. And you notice it is about mid-afternoon. You wouldn't be feeling really that tired. And so Remetta leaves and goes downstairs. Hig walks up to Laszlo, and he casts a little thing of sparks in his hand, as if he's holding a sparkler and waving it around. And Laszlo starts like jumping up and like making some noise and clapping and stuff.
We may have found our way to communicate.
Oh yeah, found a way to keep both of them occupied now.
Is there anything you guys would like to do while you're in this gnome tree?
Could have more drinks.
Are there any books nearby?
There aren't any books here, but in the entrance room there were some books.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna go look for books in the hallway to see if I can either pick up a little bit of the Sylvan language so I can try to communicate with Hig, or just see if there's anything more to learn about gnomes and their magic and their culture.
Okay. You find a lot of stuff in texts that you cannot read, but you also find a book in common that says Best Plumbing Specialties Inc. Catalog.
Oh boy.
I'd hang on to that.
It seems to contain just a list of numbers and... Do you have knowledge engineering?
Yes.
Okay, roll me a knowledge engineering.
2.
Oh,
My God!
I'm sorry, your rolls
Natural
tonight.
1.
I think Vic is taking all good ones. He's abusing me.
No,
Yeah, huh?
just a liquor boost.
Oh, okay. I
Are-
would imagine I just put the magazine down and walk away.
Yeah. You have no idea what plumbing is, so this is a very boring text for you. And that's the only thing you found in common. And so, is there anything you guys would like to do while you're here?
Yeah, I'll keep Hig entertained by copying him, shooting sparks, and making a few magical items and just having them smoke and disappear and stuff like that.
Alright. So, you go ahead and you do that.
I kind of want to go to wherever Isaac is staying and just go on and check on him, make sure he's not having more convulsions and stuff.
Okay. And what about you, Tim?
I'm just going to tend to my equipment.
Darius, while you're playing with Hig and kind of exchanging magic and stuff, he holds up his hand as if to say 1 sec, and then he runs out of the room and produces what you would know as not Darius, but you, Bob. You would recognize this as a Sony PlayStation 2.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Wait. What the fuck?
Wait.
What is this?
Just
weird-
like the console, or like what am I looking at here?
I'm so confused.
I've never seen anything like it.
It's the console with one controller, and it's hooked up to a projector, but Darius would not know what any of this is.
How is it powered?
Well, so he does a little thing with his hands, and it looks like a little bit of electricity goes into the back of it.
I'm like, did he rig a magic generator?
And the PlayStation comes to life, and you are playing SSX3. Was that on the PlayStation 2?
No, Tricky was though.
Okay,
SSX. Wait, was it?
I don't know.
I thought
the hell is
SSX3
happening
was
right
on the PS3.
You see the words SSX Tricky pop up on screen, and see people wearing this weird fashion holding these long, flat boards. You don't know what to make of it.
I've never seen snow before, right?
I would assume you've probably seen snow.
But I've never seen mountains that big.
Yeah, and you've never snowboarded. So
like, he might have handed me a controller and started up a game, but I'm just so, like, enraptured by what I'm seeing that, like, my little snowboarder dude just like running into the wall, and Higgs getting like kind of pissed off and
Yeah.
telling me like, play the damn game, and I'm just like doing the thing where I just like push the same button over and over again, just having no idea what's going on.
Yeah, you're just running into a wall continually, and then after 2 minutes, it says time, and Hig takes the controller out of your hands as you've lost the race.
I just look down at my open hands and think to myself, what the fuck just happened?
That's rough, man.
You got wrecked by a kid.
With that, I think we can call this episode.
What the fuck?
I've been Aaron, the Dungeon Master.
This is Tim with Woodward.
This is Bob with Darius.
This is Victor with Bartholomew and Laszlo.
And this is Katie with Tim Hall.
I want to play SSX now.
Yeah.
Alright, have a good night, guys.
Oh, yeah.